guys, welcome to another episode of Pastor E Podcast, and this is episode 5. As you all know, Pastor E Podcast is a platform where we have conversations with pastors' kids about pastors' kids for the edification of our spirit, soul, and body. And as you all know, I am your delectable host, pretty and beautiful host, Ayobami. Welcome. So guys, today it's Confessions of a Pastor's Kids, and I'm not going to be doing this alone. Yes, I know, right? I know this is a surprise, but I have a guest in the house. This is a very, very, very amazing guest. My family member, my own blood, my roommate, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time on this podcast, help me welcome Progress Ayobami. We are here, and this is Ayobami Progress for the second time on the.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel honored. I feel special.
Nikini.
You have to stop paying me for doing this. You understand?
Anyways, guys, so I created, a link for a form for pastors' kids to anonymously confess. So we're going to be reacting to some of the things pastors' kids anonymously responded to.
I'm ready.
I want to just like create a safe space for pastors' kids. So in any way we can help to some of the people that are struggling. Anyway, we will just help. But you guys are going to enjoy this because
we promise.
The things I'm seeing you. So, first and foremost, what's the most embarrassing or funny moments you experienced as a PK? Somebody said, I was in church hungry, so I went to buy like Pepsi outside and came back to the church. By the way, service was still ongoing. So I opened the Pepsi and was drinking it inside the church, and a member just came to me and said, Omo pastor, Omo Pepsi new church. I was so dumbfounded and confused at the thing, like, so we pastors' kids are treated like another type of human breed. What do you think about that?
You know, this reminded me of the fact that sometimes when you want to pee, you have to look
very well. Like,
if
not say
the pastor is looking at you, or maybe he's looking elsewhere, just so you could go outside.
Why? If you're hungry, you don't go chop.
Sometimes we're not even allowed to eat to church. Just remember.
Yes.
So yeah. So now you go to buy bread and Pepsi, or they go strangle you.
I mean, that's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Extremely embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
Very embarrassing. I'm sorry, whoever that person is. But I think you're a grown boy now, or girl, whoever you are. So another example. Do you have another one then?
I have one interesting one. They called me out in front of the old church to apologize for making up for my birthday speech.
Wait, that's I'm so sorry. I hope you've healed. Jesus, that's embarrassing. Apologize, Ke. In front of your church. For looking good on your birthday, she's like, okay, maybe the church, maybe it's a church where they don't allow makeup and all of that, and my person wants to slay as per his birthday. Sorry. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah. Do you have another one?
Yes. Person said, being used as a sermon example was always my time scare, and I have mental strain from all the time it happened.
Wow. Mental strain. I'm so sorry. I think most pastors' kids were used as sermon.
Almost everybody.
Almost all pastors' kids were
just like I didn't really like the idea.
I didn't like the idea too. But if yours was causing you mental strain, that means it was probably kind of personal to you, and you didn't want it out there. We are sorry, and we hope you heal. Honestly, this thing can be really traumatizing
because you can't really speak to your parents about it. Nobody wants to. Nigerian African parents don't want to listen to you about that mental thing.
They are really.
They feel like you're just cooking up things when you tell them I'm having mental breakdown. Kini.
Yeah,
exactly. But we apologize. I hope that you find healing, and I hope that when you become a pastor, you don't use your kids as examples.
Does the person become?
Do you want to? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so too. So to the next question.
No, we still have more responses from that one.
So this one says, the day that I was slapped seriously in church by my dad, just because I dozed off when someone was ongoing. Come on.
That's
body will be firewood.
You were probably tired. Probably even stayed up all night to pray with your father for
probably
the service
vigil or something.
Pastors' kids, justice for pastors' kids. Justice.
I honestly do feel like the reason why people have these experiences as pastors' kids is because the parents feel as though there are certain expectations that should come from their kids because other people in church are watching. And you forget sometimes it can slip in from the mind
Yeah.
that these people are also humans. Let a
I
child be a
think you are
child.
first a child before a pastor's child.
Yeah, so let a child be a
Have
child.
the normal experiences a normal child will have before you bring the title of being a pastor's
Yeah,
child.
yeah.
It's crazy. I apologize for this person. I hope you don't hate your father, and I hope that you
You
heal
heal.
from that
Healing,
because
most importantly. Yeah.
healing.
Do you have any other?
The moment dad slapped my face in church for not praying out loud. Please give me water.
Oh my god.
Give me water.
Oh my god.
Praying out loud is a thing now. You slap your child.
Ugh. Let's
I'm gonna skip. I hope that
skip because
you forgive your father. I feel like there needs to be special therapy for pastors' kids
yeah.
because you can't be living with somebody that you know how vulnerable they are and still believe in them most times when they're on the altar.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
because of the
different. You've
experiences
seen
you've
you've seen
experienced.
different. In fact, you slap me on a Sunday, I'm leaving your church. I'm leaving your church.
Calm down.
It's because I'm a pastor's child.
Oh, yeah,
That's why you can't really leave the church. But
yeah,
if it's a normal member that do
yeah.
not pray out loud, you slap a child for not praying out loud in the public.
We're sorry, guys. We're so
I pray
sorry.
you find healing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you have another one then? So another one here says, I wore trousers for a church event, not church service, so an event for teenagers. And the next Sunday, the teacher singled me out, asking why I wore trousers.
First off, I want to know what your response was.
What was the response? What did you tell them?
Because
They not help you.
we were supposed to advise, right?
Yes.
But the Holy Spirit is the best advisor. In
Maybe,
situations like this.
maybe in their church they are against trousers.
Yeah. And
But it says a church event. Maybe I
maybe
don't
they
know.
felt like it was still a church event, so
So you
church
should
rules
not wear.
apply.
Yeah, church rules apply.
Yeah, maybe that's what they felt.
So I think this is the last one we take here. It's this person says, when I cried in front of the old church for hours because I was forced to do something against my wish.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
Sorry.
When we're giving testimony, you don't know if to cry.
Used to
When
cry.
I say come and lead praise and worship, you're not gonna cry.
To cry.
It is what it is. But when you grow, you're older now and
And the
you're
funny thing is, when you are forced to do some things like which entails you facing crowd, when you grow up, discover that it was still up for your good.
yeah, all
Yeah,
those events,
it was still for good. You
even
can
no
face
matter how
crowd.
embarrassing they are, there's still something to like
Yeah,
to learn from it. So yeah.
yeah.
What would you advise?
So I
All
do.
this embarrassing.
So for this embarrassing stuff here, first and foremost, it kind of some people grow up to be like shy people. Some decide not to try some certain things ever again because of one experience. And I think that you have to fight against that. Those barriers,
Mm-hmm.
barricades are what
Mm-hmm.
you fight against.
Mm-hmm.
So when you fight against them, you can eventually come out of your shell and start to do those things. You don't allow those traumatic events to define you. You have to unlearn and relearn and actually actively work against it. Now, for those people that okay, they were forced to do some things which and maybe entails you facing the crowd, I do think that for instances like that, I do think that you should embrace some moment, although the mode or the vehicle in which they were teaching those things might be like
Yeah.
not in the right way, but there was a thing they were trying to teach you. So just pick that thing we're trying to teach you, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. That's brilliant one. So let's go to the next question. The
Yeah.
next question is, how did being a pastor's child affect your childhood friendships? Do you have any
I have
response?
one.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, I was confined and restrained from having friends, and my siblings are all boys. They were allowed to keep friends, but I wasn't. This made me kind of ignorant of a lot of things. Coming to uni, not associating really affected me, and I grew up trusting people around me. Coming out, I felt everyone could be trusted. Hmm.
Hmm.
It affected
Hmm.
me in my first years in school. My parents never really talked about love, relationship, and sex, like the real things. I was always told, don't do this, don't do that, so you won't go to hell or end up getting destroyed. I had friends doing these things and they weren't destroyed. I decided to try a few things, then I discovered why those things shouldn't be done. Pastors, parents in comma, tend to want to put everything in the holy context and tag it to God, but they won't tell you the real life fact. Till date, I can't really relate with girls of girls of how much I was confined. I relate more with guys because I grew up with three. What do you think?
I think that first of all, she said she was confined and restrained from having friends, and her siblings are all boys. Yes, of course. What do you expect when you confine a child? The child will definitely be naive. You're
Yeah.
going into the world, you don't know what to expect, and then there are
Yeah.
not even proper conversations about real life issues. Like she said the other, I'm guessing this person is a female, so
Yeah.
they never talk about love, relationships. Oh please, pastor.
So there was something she said, or she
Is she because she
said
was,
that struck me. She mentioned the fact that pastor's parents tagged everything in a holy context,
yeah,
and they were real life
don't they?
facts. And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make as a parent. You should be able to make separations like, okay, there are holy stuff, yeah, but
And
there
there
are
are
real
real
life
stuff.
issues like you need to talk about. I'm not saying now, take for instance the issue of like premarital sex or let's say sex in general. Forget the fact that okay, yes, it's a sin.
Mm,
How about STIs, HIV, unwanted pregnancy?
yeah.
You don't necessarily have to attach.
I still don't. I think it's not all pastors that are not
Yeah,
comfortable. I think that pastors are not comfortable discussing real life issues with their children,
yeah.
and I don't know why. And that's really risky
You need to have a
because
pastor.
you want people to be examples in the society, in the future, in the church, and they are being naive. And I promise you, most pastors are being naive. And by the
Yeah,
time they are not exposed to the knowledge, it's bad knowledge they're exposed to.
and
Why?
and when they are exposed to that bad knowledge, they tend to go extra extreme. They're always at the extreme end of it. That's it, and it's really bad because
It's bad.
they're
It's bad.
supposed to have it's supposed to be a balanced diet,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, ethics, moral,
Yeah.
physical, emotional, well-rounded. Don't just focus on the spiritual
And I
aspect.
think
Yeah,
this person, you need therapy, number
yeah,
one, and you need to learn intentionally. You need friends. Whether you were confined as a child, you need to now say, ah no, my parents made a mistake. Probably that's how they felt. That's
yeah.
the best parenting they could do. Right? But right
And
now you have to now go, you're an adult now,
let me just give
probably, and
you
just go
disclaimer.
out, make friends, be intentional and grow. Yeah.
Disclaimer: when you're trying to relearn and unlearn, it's going to be a very tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be easy because you've probably spent 20 something years of your life knowing a
Mm-hmm.
certain thing, so you might want to deliberately
Mm.
unlearn and relearn. It's going to be hard, but I believe you could do this, and I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, we are rooting for you. Okay,
Yeah,
we are
wrap up
rooting
the show.
for you. Thank you guys. This is the much we could take today. In the next episode, we'll continue because there's a lot of responses,
Yeah,
and we are still going to keep getting more responses. But I hope that with this episode, we've been able to help some of the pastors'
yeah,
kids. You have to like take responsibility. We cannot keep blaming our parents. They've lived their life. It's now time to live ours. All right. Thank you guys for sticking with us, and you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, and share this episode to 10 people every day. How many people
yeah.
every day?
10
10 people every day.
I'm going to thank you.
Thank you to our lovely guest, my sister.
You don't know there's nothing people to share
My
with this.
sister. Bye, guys.
You buy me good demo.
Yeah, I'll buy you good, man.
Thank you.
She might see you next episode, but or not. But me, I will see you next episode.
Episode.
Subscribe, like, share. Love you. Love, love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Thank you.